There seems to be a lot of confidence among especially small business owners. I saw a stat today, 78% of American small business owners expect their businesses to survive the COVID pandemic, and only 4% expect to fail. Now, maybe that's a little, rose-colored glasses from them, but who knows? Let's talk to an expert on it. We got Ami Kassar joining us. He's a business strategist. He's also the founder and CEO of multifunding.com. Ami, how are you?
Good. Thanks for having me this afternoon.
Good. So what do you see from your ground level? You see trends and you see small businesses, things like that. What tells you that despite all the destruction that was done from COVID and the shutdowns, that shows you that things may be getting positive here soon?
I don't think it's right to talk about small businesses in one bucket. Mm-hmm. So there are still absolutely specific industries that are really struggling. Hotels, restaurants, people in the travel or hospitality business, they've been hit. Many of them, if you like it or not, are not going to survive, and it's been a really tough road, and there's some light at the end of the tunnel, but the battle is not over. But then there are plenty of other industries that are flourishing and are doing really well and are growing and expanding. And what's important to note is that we have to be sure that we are supporting those businesses also. They're not the sympathy stories, but all of the jobs are going to move over to those businesses.
And what are we talking about here specifically in your mind, Ami?
Well, let me give you an example. I went to the mall the other day, and I was all happy because there was a Banana Republic that was shutting down, and I bought $900 of clothes for $112. Oh, and I felt pretty good. Yeah, I felt pretty good, but that was really sad. If you talk to the woman who was helping me, she had worked at that store for 9 years, and she was losing her job, and she had nowhere to go. Now, the truth of the matter is retail stores, some people have gotten used to shopping online, and retail isn't dead, but some of that traffic has just moved over. But down the street, there's an e-commerce business that's doubled or tripled in the pandemic. People still want clothes, but the mechanism for having them delivered. So some industries have shifted, and what we have to make sure is that we are providing that woman, as an example, job training support to make sure she's aware that there's a job over at that e-commerce company. And we have to make sure that that e-commerce company has liquidity and the ability to hire and the ability to borrow money and the ability to grow, because some industries have shifted and they're not coming back.
Ami, how much this confidence has to do with the fact that the vaccines are, I think people are frustrated a little bit, but seem to be getting out there a little more. And I guess there's hope that certainly in the next, couple of months, say by April, these things will be pretty readily available. Is that a big factor here in the confidence?
It totally helps. And I don't know about you. I know people have gotten their first vaccine and they have or about to get their second. And like an emotional cloud is lifted off over them. They're feeling that they're about to get out of jail. And that's definitely going to help. And there's still a long road ahead. We have to remember this is a war. We're at a war against the virus, and there's a lot of dominoes all around us. But any signs of being upbeat and positive, we've got to take them.
How about the stimulus package? Well, the relief package, they're calling it, the $1.9 trillion. Is how much difference is that going to make if it indeed does happen?
It's hard to tell, right? So it's definitely going to pump a lot of money into the economy, and it's going to pump a lot of money into states that are struggling and on the verge of bankruptcy. There's not all that much specific small business relief in there, but that being said, there's the last round of PPP is going fairly slowly, and that money isn't going to run out. So it takes time for these programs to infiltrate into to get implemented and the money to get out on the street. But the economy will benefit from the boost. But again, I always say we got to focus on those businesses that are growing and make sure they can get SBA loans, and they understand the incentives to get SBA loans, because that's going to make a big difference as well.
Ami Kassar joined us. He's a business strategist. And at the top there, Ami, you mentioned, some of the industries that are really, really hurting and don't look to have any sign of coming back soon. In your opinion, what's an industry or a field that's maybe at the top of the list of one it looks like life may be kind of moving on from. I mean, you mentioned hotels. That's got to be a tough industry, but maybe as people start getting out there, they'll start revisiting the hotels. Retail, certainly, but what's maybe an industry you think is really, really going to be hurting probably permanently?
Well, I mean, there's niche industries. Think about the rent-a-car companies, or who supply the rent-a-car companies, or think about the parking lots next to the airports, or think about all those hotels where business travelers go to. Leisure travel will come back, but maybe business travel will be changed forever. So there are certain industries that are just going to have a really hard time.
Yeah, no question about it. Well, Ami, look, we really appreciate your time on this, and we look forward to having you back here. Thank you so much.
Take care now. Thanks.
Very
Bye-bye.
good. Ami Kassar, business strategist.